You're listening to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. And here's Russ.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. Thanks for tuning in this Saturday morning. I really mean it. I mean, we're in an interesting time right now, and so taking your time out to listen to this show means a lot. Gosh, we're going on to almost 70 shows or something. It's crazy. Having a good time. And today I'm with a friend of mine and a new partner in Keller Williams, Nate Woods. How you doing, Nate?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
We talking a little bit about everything, and you know what's cool about people that are just genuinely good people is that there's an old saying, people like people that are like themselves. Well, if you're a good person, then typically you're going to do more business than being a not so good person. I can tell that you have a spirit of generosity and one of selflessness, and that you really do care about your client. Is that true, Nate?
Yeah, I would say that's true. I kind of get that from my dad. He was a salesman for a long time, and you know, he was never like one of those silver like tongue, which he could have been, like, you know, kind of the people that could sell anything to anybody. I mean, he has a talent for that, but he definitely wasn't. He was all about integrity. He said, "Don't be in sales if you don't believe in what you're selling," and as in like it's a good product, that you're a good person, that you are going to, you know, keep your word, that you know you are who you are in a good sense. And so I try to take every bit of that, what I was taught, into whatever I'm doing, especially in sales now that I'm in, you know, I try to help people, really is what I do. I'm a very fiduciary, and I try to help people. So I work in their best interests, not mine.
Right. And it's so important in today's world because you said a key word, fiduciary. And if you don't know what that word is, you should look it up because it's a very important word. And when you entrust someone like Nate to work for you, and to be your fiduciary, that means that you're trusting him, that he will always have your best interest at heart and do everything he can for you. Now, in the world of real estate, Nate, we've seen this happen where people are becoming functionaries. A good example of this would be a call that I'm getting more and more. Hey, will you open a door for me?
Yeah.
Because I'm in Seattle and I have my friend who wants to buy in Wenatchee, but I don't want to drive over and I really don't know the market. So would you mind just opening a door and then I'll write it up and represent him? Like, that's a functionary. Like, that's not how it should work.
No, that isn't how it should work at all. I mean, if you're not going to be with your client through it all, experiencing the house, that's the investment and that's their life. So if you're not going to be there through it all, then you become a function throughout the cog of like this machine. And that's definitely not, I mean, if that was the case, then things could just completely go, you know, off, like on the grid and, you know, do it electronically. But that's not how it works. People don't want that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things behind the scenes that it's like I joke around when people say, well, my best friend, so I have to represent him. I'm like, if I had a best friend and that person wanted to buy a downtown Seattle high-rise condominium, I would be screwing them over by representing them. So the last thing I'm going to do is do that for them. I'm going to refer them to somebody that knows that because I love that person. I don't want them to be hurt. I want them to have the best service. So not that we can't work together across the state. We do a lot of it. But I love the fact that you just understand that. And where do you think real estate's going, Nate? What do you think's going to happen here? Where this world pandemic and crazy demand. What is your take?
Oh man, that I think this could go in a lot of different ways. You know, as far as what it means for the people that are buying and selling homes, you know, on the personal level, on the intimate level, I think that they'll be given more options. Surprisingly. You know, people are going to want to make things happen. And so I think that it will keep on going for the better. I'm pretty optimistic about it for everybody in the long run. And here localized in Eastern Washington and Wenatchee area and Central Washington, I really only see it progressing for the better. We have a really strong economy, to be honest. And we should be doing fine. Everybody, this is just a very scenic area. You come here and it's just one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see. So people kind of want to be here even outside of work. And so we're kind of getting the best of both worlds, and that will kind of keep on driving. And as long as we keep the economy as strong as it is, I think that will just give everybody more opportunities. And interest rates are nice and low, so that should help people that are wanting to get into homes. As more people get back to being employed, then more houses will be bought, and then the people that own homes and have those equities, they'll have more options for their future.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with interest rates. I mean, boy, historical lows is probably a good time to buy, right? Because one thing when you're at the bottom, there's probably only one way it can go over time is up.
It's up.
So maybe now, a lot of people don't realize this, but you're willing, if somebody gave you a call, Nate, and said, I'm renting, you're willing to talk to them, aren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if they just didn't know, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know if I can buy. Can I call Nate and find out?
Yeah, I actually love working with first-time home buyers. It's a hard process. Not necessarily in buying your home, but just in understanding the steps that it takes to get to buying your home. I can help out with that. I can show you kind of where things are going, because right now is a great time to buy. But if you're scared of that first step of talking with somebody about lending or going to look at the homes, and you don't feel confident enough to be qualified, reach out, because it's a really simple process. There's hardly any obligation on your end to go out and look at homes to see what the first, second steps to buying a home are, and more than likely you're pretty qualified, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing about these rates, 2 something. I've actually seen a 1 something.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And, while we're talking about getting a hold of you, I'm going to give you your number out. So Nate Woods, a broker with Keller Williams Realty with us now, as a business partner, like we all are at this company, because we're a profit sharing company. So there's a sincere incentive for everybody to work well with each other. Not that Nate doesn't. He's one of those naturally nice guys. And he
try to be.
Yeah. His number is 509. So get that pin out, Nate Woods, 509-679-7189. Or if you'd rather just email Nate a question, it's Nate Woods, so NATEWOODS @KW.com. You hit, there's a couple things that you said. One of them that I want to make clear, it doesn't cost anybody anything.
Oh, no.
To get started.
Not at all. I think a lot of people think it does.
Right.
To be honest with you. They think that it, to hire out like a fiduciary or to get somebody to work in your interests, it costs a lot of money up front, and it doesn't. That's the nice part.
Yeah, the seller actually pays our commissions, even though we can represent you as a buyer.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing. You're taking listings, you're working with buyers, you're also taking lots of listings. You can do both sides. The key to that, just so everybody that isn't familiar with that, is the key is just in the beginning. Which hat am I going to wear? So if I represent you, then we talk about that, and I represent you as a buyer, or if I'm representing you as a seller, and that's fully disclosed up front. So the key is to take that first step, because really, there are certain situations that renting is absolutely the right thing to do. And you shouldn't feel like there's nothing wrong with renting. There are some advantages, though. If you can buy something and have just about the same, if not the same monthly payment, and we can get you in with really low out-of-pocket costs, then you can start to build that equity.
Oh yeah, big time.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if with what we are able to offer here at Keller Williams, it's one of the main reasons why I wanted to come work at Keller Williams, because of what they can do for people that are wanting to buy homes, as far as low closing costs, essentially. And that's something that I want to bring to all the people that I work with, because that's just something to help them in their life and where they're set after buying a home. So, just make the whole process easier for everybody, especially the buyer.
Yeah, Keller Mortgage is amazing. I mean, it's, our founder, Gary Keller, went out and bought a bank. Basically said, value the property, he has 180,000 agents in 55 countries or something, and climbing, and it's a way that people can borrow money without paying fees. Yeah. And it's, if nothing else, I mean, if nothing else, at least it's another thing to compare, just apples to apples.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it doesn't cost anybody anything to be pre-qualified. So when you're really thinking about it, don't let that first step stop you, because, Nate, I think that you're you're a fantastic resource for people that are getting into this business. But the good news is you're a passionate guy, right? So no matter who you work for, whether it's $1 million home or whether it's a first-time home buyer, you're going to give it everything you got.
Oh yeah, I try to bring like a great level of expertise and a great level of passion and drive to everybody that I work with. That's what you get when you work with me, is you're going to get that consistently throughout. So I try to be on the spot. I try to be, on call essentially to help people out, because, I'm really passionate about helping people in their lives. That's essentially what it is. I mean, yeah, it's an investment, but more so it's their lives that they're dealing with. And that's what I'm really passionate about. So
yeah, and it's a big decision.
Yeah.
And to care about someone at that level is so important. Attention to detail is also important. One of the things at Keller Williams we try to do is we try to make sure that we're our leadership team, we're trying to help our agents. So we look at it like our agents are our clients. So you have the full force of the management team, and then I have the full force as an operating partner of the regional director, and the regional director has the full force of Gary Keller.
Yeah, I can attest to that. It's been good.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. Well, when we get into the next segment here, I'm going to talk a little bit about some articles that I've been reading. And if you don't mind, stick around and kind of letting me dive into something.
Will do.
I appreciate it. You can get a hold of Nate, 679-7189. We'll be right back in just a few minutes with Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends.
Whoa, home sweet home.